29th of March today, and what I'm going to show you today are how to sow aubergines. I've got two different varieties here. I've got some little white ones which are called Casper, a little bit like the ghost, and I've got some other ones which I bought from Spain, and these are sort of middly size and they're purple with purple and white stripes. Now when you sow your aubergines, I would suggest sowing them when it starts to warm up where you live. It does say spring, but if it's too cold they won't do anything. So end of March, beginning of April is always a good time to actually start them off and to sow them. If it's very cold where you live and it won't get warm for a while and you want to start them off early, then sow them and keep them on a sunny windowsill and they'll be absolutely fine. But I'm going to sow mine in a little seed tray and I'm going to keep them in the greenhouse. It's not a heated greenhouse, it's just warmed by the sun. The temperature in the greenhouse today is 16.5 degrees. It's not cold outside, but that wind is cold. It's not as windy as it was yesterday when Storm Katie blew through and made her presence known. So let's get on with sowing the aubergines. Okay, so I have got a little seed tray here. It's got two different compartments, so I'm going to sow one variety in one side and the other variety in the other. Just use normal multi-purpose compost in the bottom and fill up each section so it's nearly full right to the top. And then when it's nearly full, then just give it a pat down just to level it off. And once you've done that, then just give that compost a bit of a water. Now these are the aubergine seeds. It doesn't matter what variety you've got, all the seeds will look exactly the same. They might be slightly bigger depending on the variety, but they actually, if you looked at these and you looked at sweet pepper or chili seeds, they actually look very, very similar. So these are the white ones, the Casper ones. So I'm just going to sprinkle them on top of the compost. When you've watered the compost, make sure that you wait for all the water to soak through before you sow your seeds. Now there's quite a few seeds here, but aubergines can be a bit hit and miss, I tend to find, in the UK. If we have a really lovely hot summer, they do absolutely amazingly, but if it's a bit iffy, then they tend to be a little bit pants. So it's very difficult to know what they're going to do. They do like the heat. Now these are the other ones. As you can see, they are very, very similar, slightly different in colour, but the same shape and the same size. I do tend to find that the flowers will come out of the aubergines, but then the fruit doesn't set from there. So I need to get in with my little paintbrush and just tickle the flower, I think. But anyway, we'll see what that does, what we come across at that time. Now when you've put your seeds in, then just put a little bit of compost on the top, very, very loosely. Spread it out evenly. Now if you are limited on space, you can always sow some in a 3-inch pot, okay, and keep them on the windowsill or in the greenhouse. It's entirely up to you. Just do it exactly the same as I've done here. Okay, then I'll make sure that I label them so that I know which ones are which. Now I've labelled those, and I will put a propagator lid on top just to keep in an extra little bit of heat during the day and at night. But hopefully in a couple of weeks they would have started to sort of
poked through the soil, and when I do a greenhouse update, then I will show you how they're getting on, and then I'll show you all the other steps like potting up and everything else. But hopefully, if we have a really good summer, we'll get some aubergines. They seem to be very, very hit and miss in the UK. Sometimes I think, oh, I'm never going to grow them again, because I think there's only been 1 or 2 years that I have been very, very successful with them. But then I always grow some more because I think, oh yes, I really must do it this year. But anyway, we'll see. So fingers crossed for a lovely, lovely hot summer, and therefore lots and lots of aubergines. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye bye.